everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we should have a fun one on our hands. It's the Seahawks coming in at 7-4, going up against the Browns, who come in at 3-8. With that, let's get you up to Seattle. We're standing by are our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Cleveland Browns and the Seattle Seahawks. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Winston now to throw on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was at the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said, these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
Now Jameis on second down. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. And now the starting defense for the Browns.
Jordan Hicks played inside and outside linebacker while in college. He'll do the same in the NFL and make a lot of plays in doing so.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. To throw, Winston. And he's able to find Diggs. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Hey, let's go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Jameis to throw it. And a quick throw here. That's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On third down, Winston. Trying to lay one up deep. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
On fourth down, they do snap it to Winston. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Winston from the gun on third down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
And it appears they'll go for it here on fourth down. A big call on the game's opening drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And on fourth down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
Ooh, that's taking a real chance on the opening drive of the ball game. I get wanting to be aggressive, but you don't want to leave your defense in a bad spot right away. Fortunately, they're able to convert here on fourth down.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And the seemingly endless drive continues. Now a second down throw for Winston. And his pass incomplete. He was looking for Ty Montgomery that time. And it's third down.
I remember growing up playing basketball. My coaches always talked about communicating on defense, making sure you talk on defense, know where your screens are, know where the cuts are coming from, who has who. Well, guess what? It's the same thing in football. Even though there's more noise out there, you can hear all the screams of screen, screen. This defense, the bench, everyone let them know what the play was, and that's why they're able to react and knock the ball away.
And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive. Winston to throw for it on fourth. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Jameis now on first down. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Their dangerous wide receiver. His second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. first carry of the game here for Trey Mason. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon.
And that was a nice play by the defense. And it is tough to be an offensive lineman nowadays, especially if you're dealing with how the defensive tackles have evolved. Their quickness, their agility, their speed has changed the big guys in the middle, the center, and the...
He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. And to give this time to the tailback. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
You don't have to be a finished product to show some pretty good glimpses of what could be in this league. And we just saw an example of it on that nice run there. When I looked at him coming out of college, I saw a guy with raw... was going to be harnessed and polished up in the NFL. In fact, some people thought he could play a little slot receiver as well as run the football. This guy has the ability to be a big-time player with more seasoning.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll try to throw now. Winston. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them. We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now. I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. On first down, Bortles. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. Well, he just threw an interception last drive. Nearly another pick.
And things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's kind of the difference between driving on those paved roads and those country roads that have those potholes in them, isn't it? Because that's the way this game's going right now. A lot of bouncy bounce to it.
You spent some time on some Tennessee country roads.
I certainly have. Plenty of family back there. God love them.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he lost the football. And there he goes left side. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And here are the Browns now as the offense comes back out onto the field. They come out here in the eye. They begin with a run by Crowell. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Bortles now on 1st down. Finding time. He's going to loft one deep left side here. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Time to step aside. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Second down, Winston. And that one is incomplete. He just dropped it. But they're up big on the scoreboard, so maybe he can chuckle about later.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Going right side here, and that's complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
On 1st and 10, Winston. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40. A good pickup there, 22. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to roam now. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And it's up and good. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back in.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. With Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Winston now to throw on 1st down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This from 54 yards away. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we send you cross country to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando with our halftime report, here's Larry Ridley. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Throwing on 1st down is Bortles. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time, and now it's third down.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams and the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Bortles surveying the field. He's going to wind up and air it out. And it is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Jameis now on first down. He's going to float this, and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Hunter Henry, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. Well, that was the fly route for a touchdown, and since he caught that one and scored it, I got to tell the story. Before the game, we were standing there. He was running deep routes, dropped one. It bounced up and just hit me right in the gut, and I said, come on, man, but there was no drop.
Yeah, you okay now?
I'm good.
All right,
I'm good.
We got the ice pack up here. You're just fine. What I loved about it was the subtlety of the route because everyone knows he's fast. They're going to play him for that route first and foremost, but sometimes it's a head fake. It's varying your speed off the line of scrimmage. It's giving the defensive back different angles to think about. Is he going inside? Is he going outside? And then, as you noted, he just took off past him. Oops, there he goes again.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Give him 2 yards on that play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
He sets to fire deep. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. Bortles will try again on 2nd down. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
To throw, it's Bortles. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. First down, Winston. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
A good pickup there of 20 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get nothing out of that one. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
Now Winston on 4th down. And this is incomplete. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And this Browns defense stands tall. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Back now in Seattle, Washington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Bortles now on 1st down. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. Gerald McCoy. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Bortles to throw on 2nd down. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do? You got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end. Take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. To throw is Bortles. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Their dangerous wide receiver. His second touchdown on the season. And the Browns were able to cash in for 6. And he converts, and it cuts the lead to 35-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. This fielded at the 2. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. It's a gain of 7, and it'll make it a second down. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
To throw is Winston. The left side caught by Diggs. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Jameis to throw it. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Muscles him off. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Now they try the right side here. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Yeah, that right there will set them back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? the guy who just committed the foul. You want to...
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. 10-yard penalty there on first down, so now 1st and 20. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Looking for the end zone, and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
On second down, here's Crowell. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Noah Spence in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Bortles, got to have this one. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Seahawks are going to take over the football. And out now come the Seahawks. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner, and just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. They're looking to throw this. Winston. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Tough spot for the offense. 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got some space here. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. Give him 18 yards on that one. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. Here comes the D swarming to the line. Jameis now on 1st down. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Ooh, I like it.
To throw, Winston. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Red zone opportunity. And on the ground they go with a running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. And they'll run it here. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. NFL teams last year a little under 50% on fourth down conversions. This is a bit tougher. 4th and 4. Winston to throw for it on 4th. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So a little icing on the cake there before the clock hits all zeros.
What a way to finish things off. Exactly what you want. Not much time and a touchdown to put things away.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final whistle there with the late points and then the kickoff to end it.
Yeah, and the best part about it is just seeing how teams battled all the way to the end, you know. Didn't really matter. The scoreboard was pretty well set, but they still competed until the final whistle.
So for the Seahawks, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Browns, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.